This is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.
Broadcasting in his underwear from the Genius Media Group studio in his basement, somewhere in the Beverly neighborhood of Chicago, Illinois. You're listening to the Do One Thing for 30 Minutes Everyday podcast.
If you do one thing for 30 minutes every day, you will not have any room for any negative thinking, any negative thoughts of any kind. You will have more time to be focused, driven, and ready to fulfill your purpose. I'm Delvin. Good afternoon. It is Monday, May the 11th. And the months are flying by. We're now in the 5th month of the year 2026, and I am excited. The weather is changing all of the time. Warm one day, cool the next day, but we're trying to get to that warm period, and I'm hoping that we can get there before Memorial Day. But in the meantime, yesterday was Mother's Day. Hope you enjoyed your Mother's Day. If your mother is still alive, you should talk to her. You should communicate with her. You should see how she's doing. After all, you only get one. I was fortunate enough to see my mother yesterday, after seeing my mother-in-law on Saturday. And of course, going to see my mother-in-law, her name is Alice Mallory. And going to see my mother-in-law, she's about a good 50, 60 miles away from Chicago, 60 miles north of Chicago. So there was some driving involved in there, probably a little bit more than that. I know Gurney is a way away. Now that's all I know. But to spend some time with her, spend some time with my wife, spending some time with her mother. And then yesterday, my wife spending time with me as I spend time with my mother. Because that's what marriage is all about. You only get one mom. And so if your mom is still gracing the planet and still here on earth, you should be able to see her, talk to her, have a conversation with her, at least tell her that you love her. And it doesn't have to be the day after Mother's Day. It's too late. Never too late, especially if she's still here. Okay, a good friend of mine lost her mother, and I didn't even know. And that kind of hit me a little bit because, I would have been there to support him because, we both share our love for our mother. So I just, it just hit me a little bit different. So if your mom is still here, and my mom is in age now, though she's in her 80s. She's approaching her middle 80s. And so I'm glad that she's still here. So I had to spend that time with her. My mother-in-law, she's still here. And I'm glad that my wife was able to spend time with her. So today being Monday, today is Man Up Monday. But before we get to Man Up Monday, I just want to remind you that this is the platform where you can listen to it. Do One Thing for 30 Minutes Every Day has every podcast platform that Genius Media Group allows on their stage. Unmuted the podcast and Do One Thing for 30 Minutes Every Day and Man Up Mondays. All of those platforms are available on the Genius Media Group platform page, where you can find on YouTube via the Genius Media Group on YouTube. So do me a favor and subscribe to the Genius Media Group. You'll be glad that you did, because you will get notifications when we have new podcasts available for you to see. And this being Monday and Man Up Monday today, I'm doing a post for YouTube right now. So this post will be available later on this afternoon, but it will be available to hear audio only on iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts by going to onefor30.com. That's the website that you can find the audio versions of our podcast. So if you can do me a favor and subscribe to either iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and please also go to our website, onefor30.com. The number 1for30.com. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Today is Man Up Monday, and I want to get right to it. Yesterday, I was able to see a friend of mine post, and it made me smile. A friend of mine, he has a podcast, and I want to get him on this podcast. I'm making it known right now. Victor Love, I want you on this podcast. I'm telling you now, I'm not going to stop till you sit in this seat. Okay? Be a part of this podcast because I'm so proud of what he is doing as far as his podcast is concerned. It is a lot going on when men need to check on other men. And he's doing just that. His podcast is called The Ride. And it is as he says, it is the conversations of exposing the state of black men and boys, mental health journeys, awareness and stigmas. It's called The Ride. It's the checkup from the neck up. Love that. And I want Victor to talk about it here on this podcast. So Victor, I'm calling you out. I got room for you in one of these chairs over here for you to sit down and have this podcast with me. So Victor Love, I'm just so proud of him doing this. What I try to do once a week, he is doing every day. And I'm just glad that he's doing it. So by all means, I need him to come on and talk about it. So it made me proud to have him as a friend. I've always supported Victor in every aspect of everything that he does. And this is one aspect that I can definitely get down with. So that's why I need him to come on here and talk about his podcast, The Ride. Okay, and what's going on in his life. So I'm hoping that he will get the word that I'm looking for him. And anybody who knows Victor Love, by all means, share this with him. Okay, as I will be doing later on this afternoon. Okay, I talked about last time I was on, talked about the fact that the studio was in transition. And there were some things that were going on that I needed to do to make this studio complete that I was just completely lacking. I slacked on it, and I let myself slack on it. As a man, I can't do that anymore. Last week I said that I was the reluctant entrepreneur, and I don't want to be, but sometimes I am. Sometimes I just don't want this. But then there are times that I want this. So I'm confusing my own damn self. I don't know what's going on. But last week I said that I needed to go out and get a chair. And I made the promise that I needed to get this chair by next week or by the end of that week. And I just want you all to know that the chair is in the studio. It's right there. I had to get the chair. I only had one, and I was imitating another chair over here. Had two other chairs over here. It just wasn't looking right, and the aesthetic just wasn't right. So I needed to have that chair here, and it just made the studio look a lot more complete. And so I'm happy that the studio has come together to the point that I can just, watch everything happen. I had to go and get some sound tiles and have those tiles up on the ceiling. Put those tiles on the ceiling to give the studio a lot more of a soundproof look that I was after. And I'm just glad that I was able to do it. And as I go around from camera to camera, that is going to take a look at the studio. I just wanted you all to see this. I needed you all to see what was going on here in the studio. So I'm going to take a good sweep around as you all take a look at what's going on here. It gave me more of a complete look. And of course I had to get things together, and here's my setup over here behind the scenes, where every gadget is here, everything is all laid out for the studio to be what the studio is. But I'm glad that I was able to do all of this, because it gives me a sense of completion, which leads me to the devotional of the week. And I've been doing this devotional for the last 25 weeks. This is week 25 of this devotional. And I've been focusing on this one scripture and what the motivational saying is on the back of the scripture. And that has been my drive for the week. So this week, I'm going to read it to you, what it says this week. And I don't have my glasses anywhere around here, so I'm going to move this very close to my face so I can read this, okay? Do not shortchange yourself in life. I could stop right there. Do not shortchange yourself in life. Live every day to the fullest and give everything you have. Live so that you will get to the finish line knowing that you have lived a full, intentional, and amazing life. Leaving nothing on the table, leaving nothing undone, and leaving nothing incomplete. Live so that you can die empty. Wow. Live so you can die empty. Knowing that you did everything God put you in this world to do. That is how you win the race. And with that said, men, what are you living for? What are you living for? What's the motivation? What's really going on here? We gotta live for something, and we all live for something, whether it is for work, whether it's for our kids, whether it's for our wife. We're trying to leave a mark in the world in some form. We're living for something. So what are you living for? What's got your attention that has you purposed to get up in the morning? What has me purposed to get up in the morning? This studio. And coming down here to prepare this studio and get this studio ready for not just me and my podcast, but for other people and their podcasts, to give them a place to go. Because, you know, on the south side of Chicago, there aren't that many places. I don't know, you can go north and you can find a place anywhere. You can go downtown if you want to. I don't know if a lot of places out south in the south side of Chicago. So that's why I put this together. And I'll talk about this a little bit later, because I don't want this to sound like a commercial, because I do have to get my commercials ready for this. What you pay to go have 1,000 rooms that you can go into to have a podcast and do whatever, I'm not charging that. I just want you to get purposed. I want you to get started. And so my prices are not their prices. But don't play it that I'm not playing it like I'm cheap either. Okay? Hello, have you met me? Hello, have you met my studio at all? This is what I do. This is what I do. So of course, you're going to get all of my expertise, all of my time, all of my talent, but it's not going to cost you like it would if you was going to go someplace else. It's in my house. So the overhead, you're not going to pay that. So this is not a commercial for that. I didn't want to get involved in that right away. But now I have to, because the chair is here, the aesthetic is right. Now I have to put this out there, because this is what I live for. I'm living for this. And when I die, I don't want to take this with me. I'll be completely satisfied when other people get to know what to do, how to handle it, and then do it themselves. That's what I live for. Men, what are you living for? How can we get you there? You have to have a purpose. And we all know men don't live without purpose. So what's your purpose? Let's get you started on your purpose. That is how you win the race. I think it was a couple days ago, I ran across a quote that I made like 10 years ago. When you're in the rat race, no matter if you win or lose, you're still the rat. I don't want to be the rat when I lose or win. This is not a rat race, but I'm trying to win this race the only way I know how, by manning up and doing this. This is Man Up Monday, and because it's Man Up Monday, I'm speaking to my men in particular. Let's get our purpose together. Figure out what it is and let's do it. Let's do it. What else are we living for? So let's do it. I'm Delvin. This is Man Up Monday. Hopefully you'll take my advice and you'll run with it. If you can, subscribe to the podcast. Go to the website, onefor30.com. You'll find all of the audio podcasts available on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. They'll be up and running in about an hour from now. It is now, at the time of this recording, it's 11:25. I'm hoping that by an hour from now, this podcast will be available for you to hear in the next hour by 12:30. For you to see this podcast on YouTube, that's going to take a little bit more time. So I'm hoping that will be ready to go before the end of the afternoon. So I'm putting goals to myself today. So I need to get this ready to go and roll and run, promos out, everything out and ready to go by 3 p.m. today. Yeah, I know. I'm putting the pressure on myself. Usually it takes me an entire day to do. 3 p.m. I need to get this out there. So I'll be back again on Wednesday, talking about more things, what's going on with me, what's going on with my life, and what's inside of this mind. And I got some things to share. There's some probably going to be some parts I'm going to share on social media as well, called Can I Be Honest? And that's really going to give you an open door to what's really going on with me. I gotta say this too. There's a friend of mine, his name is Delvin, and when I told my wife that I have a friend named Delvin, she's like, so there's two of you? And so, yes, there's two of us. His name is Delvin Fuller, and he had his 60th birthday. And on social media, it is the buzz on social media, because when I saw it, he did his birthday exactly how he needed to do his birthday. And like I want to do my birthday, I want to come in with a bang, go out with a bang. So he did a Bridgerton themed birthday party, came in riding a horse. If you're going to come in riding a horse. So he did that. Delvin Fuller, or as everyone is saying, Lord Delvin, I bow to you. Happy birthday, brother. Happy birthday, namesake. I'm glad that you did it the way you did it. Which means that come July, I have to do it the way I need to do it. So I'm thinking, what I got to do? That gives me so much motivation. So, happy birthday, Delvin. I just had to say that. Now listen, everybody has a birthday. I'm sure that I'm going to miss some birthdays down the line here, but that just struck me because first off, he's my namesake. So anything to bring attention to Delvins in the world, I'm going to make sure that happens. So happy birthday, D. Talk to you guys soon. I'll see you on Wednesday. You will hear from me on Wednesday. Subscribe, like, share, listen to the podcast on YouTube this afternoon, on iHeart and Apple and Spotify this afternoon, about an hour from now. We'll talk again soon. This is Man Up Monday, and do one thing for 30 minutes every day.
Chicago, listen up. If this podcast has ever kept you company on Lakeshore Drive, help you breathe through that Dan Ryan traffic, or fed your spirit on a cold Southside morning, then you already know what we're building. This is for the city. No corporate script, no watered down conversations, just real voices, real stories, real impact, straight from the heart of Chicago. If you believe in independent media that sounds like us and speaks for us, support the podcast today. Every dollar helps us grow, reach more people, and keep the mic where it belongs, in the hands of the community. Stand up for what we're building. Around here, we don't just talk about the culture, we create it.
This is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.